Hi, Sam Sorbo here for the Accidental Homeschooler. I want to share this with you. I just talked to a parent who is seriously thinking that homeschooling this fall might be a better choice, but she's still on the fence about it. And so we had a long conversation, and I started out by asking her to make a list of the pluses and minuses. Now you guys have seen that I encourage you to make a list of the pros and cons. It helps us organize our thoughts, and it's just better to have organized thoughts than not. And as we were talking, I said, so what is the one thing that's holding you back from making the decision? What is it? And she said to me, well, I'm so afraid that I'm going to fail my son, that I just feel so absolutely inadequate, and I just don't know that I can do it. And at that point, we both were crying. And I said, I feel inadequate. That's why the title of my book is An Inspirational Journey from Self-Doubter to Homeschool Advocate, Self-Doubter. I feel inadequate. We all feel inadequate. Why? Because we've been taught to feel inadequate. And I said, you need to embrace the feelings of inadequacy. You need to embrace them and say, yes, I feel inadequate because that's what I was taught to feel by a system that wanted to ensure that we continue to send our children to them. I don't blame teachers. I'm not blaming teachers. It's a system. It's systemic. We talk about all kinds of systemic things. Let's talk about the systemic corruption in our education system that is turning out children who have no education. So I made her make a list of the things that she would be skipping. And the list is long, things that you'll skip when you don't have your children in a public school environment. You skip the bus problems. She had started taking her son to and from school herself every day because of the issues on the bus. You skip the problems with kids in the school. You skip the drop-off line and the pickup line and the parent-teacher conferences and the bake sales and the fundraising and the this and the that. And there's a lot. You skip, okay? So that at least makes you go, okay, so I'm going to come out ahead. In certain ways, I'm definitely coming out ahead. And then we started talking about curriculum. And I pursue classical conversations. It is a heavy curriculum that involves a good deal of parent involvement, which is good. It's good for the parent to be involved. It's good for the student to have the parent involved. It's good for the family dynamic. But it really is good for the parent to be involved, to have that, and to make that commitment, frankly. And so we went over all of that. But I just want to say to you parents out there, embrace the feeling of inadequacy. Let that be the impetus that you have to keep your child out of an environment that turned out you with all of your feelings of inadequacy. Let us not surrender our children to those feelings, both surrendering them to our feelings of inadequacy and surrendering them to their own feelings of inadequacy. And let me put it this way. You're the adult. Buck up. If you feel inadequate, it's only because that's what you were taught to feel. So put that to the side and buck up and show your child. I said to her, because she was still crying, and I said, show him that. Show him that you are vulnerable, that you feel like you can't, but that you're going to try anyway, because he is that important to you that you are going to sacrifice your feeling of inadequacy. You're going to sacrifice that and put him first. And the other thing is, and she said this to me on the way out, she goes, you know, it's funny because I'm not inadequate. I mean, I graduated high school, so like I learned a bunch of stuff, right? And I said to her, okay, think about this logically. This is so stupid. Okay, either you're fully adequate because you graduated high school and they knew what they were doing and they educated you well enough that of course you could teach your 8th grader, okay? Or you're stupid, in which case they graduated you. So how stupid are they for graduating you? Right? So let's choose the former, that they kind of knew what they were doing back then. Of course, it's all off the rails now. They kind of knew what they were doing. They did educate you. You are adequate, but you also picked up this alternative message that you're not at the same time. And so buck up and get it done, okay? So that's my note of encouragement to you parents out there. I hope that helps. Please leave me any kind of message or comment either on the video, or you can go to my website and email me, samsorbo.com. All the links are in the description, and thanks for watching. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, and also please share with a parent that you know who might be going through this. There's no reason for parents to go through this. These feelings of inadequacy, there's no reason. We can do it.